I'm Sarah Roberts, and I've been attending this church since January. Was looking for churches, and I found this one online. From the very first time I was here, I really felt like, for the first time since I was a kid, like this feels like a home church. I grew up in a church that I also went to school at for elementary school from kindergarten to 5th grade. And that was a really good experience. And I think because I had great parents and they're both Christians to this day, that it really helped me have a foundation for later, for all the different trials that I went through. And I've been pretty much dipping in and dipping out my whole life, you know, just kind of putting your toes in and then going out and living for myself. My parents got divorced and I started, as a lot of teenagers do, doing your own thing and following your own path. I got pregnant and then married at early 20s, and that was full of like alcoholism and drug addiction. And so when I left that relationship and kind of went on my own and just kind of spun out on my own, at one point falling away from God because I was angry at him for not protecting me in that relationship. Even though I would go back to church and then keep going back and forth, I really didn't feel connected, and I felt he was really remote. What got me on the path going back to him was probably about a couple years ago. I really like history, and I was looking at some family history, and then I started looking at somehow Norse paganism came into that, and like looking at like what were those people doing before Rome came, and researching some things, and it started getting very interesting to me. I know other friends that have been lured into like witchcraft and things like that because it starts off so innocent and it seems really benign. And I didn't get fully involved, but I remember talking to my best friend, and I had told her, said, man, I'm starting to have a crisis of faith here. You know, I'm really starting to feel like pulled in another direction. And she said, oh, so you're ready to deny Christ, huh? And you know, that was a huge slap in the face. I was like shocked, but it hit me so deeply and so hard. I knew my instant reaction was no. Like I knew deep down, there's no way. And she said, well, what are you doing? And that was like one of my first wake-up calls. But ever since then, I'm just seeing what's happened in the world the last few years and looking around and just really saying that it's time to get right. You know, you can't keep dipping your feet in and out of that pool. You know, you got to get in or get out. So I've been more serious and starting to attend church. One thing that helped me also in my road back to the Lord was watching some online testimonies. When I couldn't even read the Bible, I would like to listen to people's stories that I could maybe relate to. There's nothing else but him. You know, there is no alternative. And I know that he's God, and I know that he's real. He's been faithful to me my whole life, even when I don't deserve it.